Good evening, and welcome to Modern Classics with me, Alexander de Pfeffel de Pfeffeller. Sorry, it's a bit stuffy in this blazer. Much better. Good evening, and welcome to Modern Classics with me, Alexander de Pfeffel de Pfeffeller. Now, a few of my fans, you know who you are, requested that I looked into the genre of hip-hop, to which I duly obliged. And in my research, I realised that I shared quite a lot in common with the practitioners of the said art. For example, I also grew up on an estate, did quite a lot of shooting as a youth, and my gardener had a fine collection of hoes. Anyway, one such gentleman, R. Kelly, managed to combine hip-hop with two of my favourite things, opera and puns, in a hip-hopera called Trapped in the Closet, which I will give you a rendition of today. Now, obviously, as it is an opera, there is no point in me reading it out, so I shall do my best to perform it in the way that R. Kelly would have wanted. The basic storyline of this is a gentleman has arrived home and he believes his wife to have been adulterous. So, it's quite touching, quite moving. Here goes. He looks around the kitchen and says, "Something is really weird." And she says, "Why do you say that?" He says, "'Cause you keep trying to get me out of here." He says, "Ever since I've been in this house, your face has went from white to red. And remember when I first walked through the door, you acted like you had seen a ghost from the dead." Then he says, "Girl, if you're hiding something, I'm going to be so mad." Then he hears something falling. He says, "What the fuck was that?" She said, "It sounded like it came from upstairs. Sounds like the plumbing." He said, "Woman, that sound did not come from upstairs. I'll be damned if you're not up to something." She said, "Now the sound I just heard, it came from this kitchen." And then he looks over by the stove while she's easing over by the dishes. And then he walks over to the refrigerator and pushes it back. And then he looks in her face, looks like she's about to have a heart attack. And then he notices the pie on the counter. One slice is missing. Now the story's getting scary, because he comes to realise that Bridget is allergic to cherries. And then he slowly looks up at her, and now her face is red as hell. He's breathing real hard, moving closer. She says, "Hon, you don't look so well." And then he says, "Move." She says, "No." He says, "Move." She says, "No." "Bitch, move!" She moves. And then he looks at the cabinet. He walks to the cabinet, gets close to the cabinet. Now he's opening the cabinet. Now pause the movie, 'cause what I'm about to say to y'all is so damn twisted. Not only is there a man in his cabinet, but the man is a midget. 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 Midget.